play in a way that you were expecting? Were there any particular plot twists over the course of it?
I was pleasantly surprised by the ending.
Really?
Yeah.
Could you speak a little more to that?
Well, I think we could have very easily ended on a very sour note. Very easily. And instead, for me, it was a really interesting message of, like, you are what you're surrounded, you make where you are, and that even, the idea that that could carry on into another lifetime or into another place of existence, that you're still kind of in control of where you are and how you feel about people, was a really interesting concept, that you're not, that even if you die or you go to another place, you are still able to, you're still in control of that there's not some omnipresent power that comes in and says, this is how everything is now.
Right.
It doesn't get, in a way, it's like, you will always have to make a choice. And I thought that was,
some kind of agency.
you still, and I thought that was a really interesting way to kind of end out the play, because it could have very easily, I think, just been so sad. And it's not that it wasn't sad, it was this bittersweet ending, but just the hint of sweet in it was really surprising.
That's cool that you say that, because I think that what I was really concerned with was, like, the idea of salvation, and can we create our own salvation, or are we doomed or damned, as a lot of the characters, as the male character kind of feels like he is, and so that great sacrifice of one salvation for another is, I think, it's a leap of faith. You know what I mean? Just like how religion is, love is kind of the same way. And so I think that really speaks to my intention, which was to show two people who make the choice to forego what they feel like is their salvation to embrace something else.
And it also speaks to the humanity of the characters, both, in a certain sense of empathy and self-sacrifice, but also in the literal sense of, are you human, are you demon, are you ghost? Like, at what point do you sin so much, make a certain kind of decision against society, against yourself, that you stop being human? And I think that this play kind of makes the statement that you don't stop being human so long as you have empathy and try to make that reach beyond, and you try to keep reaching out to others.
Yeah, and that delineation of human, ghost, and demon to me was really important. When I used to be a born-again Christian, this woman at my church used to always tell me about waking up at night and seeing demons on her bed and having to pray them away. And I think one time I joked with her, I'm like, maybe it's a ghost. And she said, there are no ghosts, there are only demons. And so that to me was really interesting, and an idea that I kind of explore a lot. And it's like, because I'm absolutely terrified of demons because of that. Like, when I watch ghost shows, like, on like TV, where they're like hunting ghosts, it's like when they're looking for ghosts, that doesn't really freak me out, but if they're looking for demons, then I'm like terrified. And I just had that happen like last weekend. I was watching Ghost Adventures on the Travel Channel, and there was, they were in like this old place where there was like satanic worship and ritual and stuff, and they were like, they had this bishop with them, and they were like calling out the demons, and oh, it was so terrifying. And it was like, I had like total nightmares that night, but if they're like hunting ghosts, it's like, it does, I'm just like, but yeah, so I wanted to write a play about demons. But then of course I wanted to humanize the demons, because I think it's what I do in a lot of my work, is I like to take people who feel like they're beyond saving, or beyond salvation, or just have done something that is, in a sense, unforgivable, and then really try to explore the humanity within them and that desire for salvation. And if you feel like you're beyond salvation, then what is your salvation? And are you worthy of that?
Jamie, I think, so what she means, the forgiveness, the self-forgiveness, I was trying to pinpoint something particular, but I think Randall sort of hit it on the head. I'm not always sure. I think it was more a matter of her inability to don't think it was about the lost child. I don't think she was blaming herself for that. Which the question about the ending, I think for me, I mean, it's very clear when she showed up for me. It's like, okay, she killed herself. She's here. Okay, yeah. But I think the finding freedom in that is something that people have that those characters would have to accept that freedom in a way, and by their beginnings of passionate making out at the end, I think they find but to be honest, I didn't quite follow his I didn't quite follow him's journey from wild-eyed to grounded, I have to say, in those moments.
Oh, could maybe the actors speak a little bit to that?
Yay! Are you throughout the whole play specifically? When you say wild-eyed,
No,
what
just
do you?
that final moment, the sort of,
Oh, when
I'm a demon.
Yeah.
I'm here for you now. I'm a demon.
Yeah.
And then I mean, maybe it's as simple as showing the hanging or something, and then that's like him registering, oh, you sacrificed yourself. I'm not sure.
No, I think
I followed it.
right. I'm not sure I did. No, just kidding. I think really I don't think he realizes until what exactly she's done. Until when he says, when I say he was going to save me, he said I'm going to save you or something, and then I say you can't, you already saved me. She said not anymore, and then she shows me her thing from the hanging, and so that's when I realized, oh, so you've killed yourself. So here I was trying to kill myself, get away from you. I was, I always thought I was damned, and I was bringing, for lack of a better term, my blight upon you. I killed myself, and now I realize that you have killed yourself to come get me. And once again, it's just me messing things up. I mean, again, not poetic, messing things up, and that I brought that upon her. And then it's kind of like throughout the whole scene, I think he's trying his best not to show her that he does love her, because that's been his whole thing. When she says, "Why did you pretend that you didn't love me anymore?" And it's kind of like he's put something in between them at all times, and the baby in the box sets it down. So, and finally, he allows himself into the memory of you look good, and then that brings all of his emotion, and that's why he breaks down.
I'm following everything you're saying, but something you said actually pinpointed where sort of my confusion was. It seems to me what I didn't get so much of was, like you said, he killed himself, and part of it was because he thought he had brought so much upon her, whereas I felt I was more getting him was killing himself to get away from himself and get away from his past and to get away from the mistake.
Thought I ditched you, bro.
To get away more from the death of the kid, or to get closer to the kid, perhaps, or something.
I think for me, what's important is her decision, and Kevin touched on it, but her realization of his realization of her decision.
Yeah.
Because she says in the play, fundamentalists believe that, not all, but a good deal of fundamentalists believe that suicides go to hell. If you kill yourself, that is a damnable sort of thing. And so she says, you chose hell. And by seeing that she killed herself, she also chose hell and sacrificed her salvation. And I think that what is between them, for me, is her salvation, and the fact that he feels like he's not worthy of it. And so if she sacrifices her salvation, then he is able to that is gone. She has given that up and chosen him, which is hell. So that's what I was shooting for.
That's definitely or what we were
Yeah.
thinking when we worked with it.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, totally.
A lot of the idea of him, seeing her as something very pure, which of course tarnishes some things too. Yeah, when she does that and sacrifices that one pure thing for him, I mean it's gonna mess with his head.
And there's the line that I can't remember the exact wording of, but